Pokémon, I became a principal and hired Liu Bo as a teacher. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 176, Party. Not long after, everyone arrived at Kong Xian Hotel, the largest hotel in Suzhou and Hangzhou. It's President Chen and Principal Kong, Wow, Erica teacher, Mr. Kinglu, and Gary teacher are all together, and Ash, I heard that the Pikachu on his shoulder has championship level strength. It seems like I'm going to sign. As soon as they got out of the car, the figures of Kong Xian and others immediately attracted the attention of others. After all, each of them is a hot topic now. The crowd of onlookers swarmed towards this side normally at the same time. On the other side, there was a small shop not far from Kong Xian Hotel. Li Mengsu's best friend hurried in from outside. Vivi, don't be picky, come with me. Ning Jing entered the store, took Li Mengsu's hand and ran towards Kong Xian Hotel. What happened to Min? Seeing her best friend so anxious, Li Mengsu asked curiously, wondering what happened make your best friend so anxious. It's Kinglu. Your Excellency, Kinglu is back and is now at Kong Xian Hotel. Jing explained to Li Mengsu while holding Li Mengsu's hand and running towards Kong Xian Hotel. As Li Mengsu's best friend, Ning Jing naturally knows what Li Mengsu is thinking since the last time Li Mengsu's Charizard was defeated by Lord Kinglu's Charizard. Li Mengsu has been keeping it in mind and wants to have another battle with Lord Kinglu, but with Mr. Kinglu's current status, let alone the challenge, it is difficult to even meet him once unless you go to the North China War Zone to challenge Lord Kinglu's gym. You can have a chance to see Lord Kinglu now that Lord Kinglu appears at Kong Xian Hotel, less than 500 meters away from them. This is Li Mengsu's best opportunity. What if Lord Kinglu agrees to her challenge request? Your Excellency, Kinglu is back. Li Mengsu was slightly startled when she heard her best friend's explanation. After graduation, one of her purposes in going to the North China War Zone was to challenge Kinglu. I just didn't expect Lord Kinglu to return to Suhang City. Li Mengsu nodded, let go of her best friend's hand, no longer allowed her best friend to hold her, and ran towards Kong Xian Hotel. I saw a crowd of Japanese people gathered in front of the hotel. Everyone, please give in. We are just having a simple dinner party. Everyone, give in, please. Give me flowers. Kong Xian used psychic to silently push away those who blocked him. Just when Kong Xian was leading everyone to enter the hotel, a girl's voice sounded from behind everyone. Wait a moment. Looking in the direction of the sound, they saw a girl running toward them panting. It's Li Mengsu. Stopping Li Mengsu, who was chasing him, Kong Xian immediately recognized the Xiao Zhuang. She naturally knew Li Mengsu, his nemesis, who was the top student in Ivy League College. Who? Seeing Kong Xian and others stopping, Li Mengsu breathed a sigh of relief. If they waited for them to enter the hotel, with their identities as President Chen Wu, Principal Kong Xian and His Excellency Kinglu, it would be difficult for her to get news about Kinglu. Li Mengsu, what do you want from us? Facing this genius from the Ivy League, Kong Xian was not embarrassed and took a few steps forward to ask Li Mengsu he would not escalate the grievances between schools to students. Instead, Zhao Lingers snorted with some dissatisfaction. Principal Kong, I want to challenge Lord Kinglu. After struggling in her heart for a long time, Li Mengsu gritted her teeth and asked Kong Xian to tell her purpose. Chapter 177, Li Mengsu's challenge. Wow, who is this little girl? She dares to challenge Lord Kinglu. She really doesn't know how high the sky is. I know that she is Li Mengsu from Ivy Academy, and she is a senior trainer. You are already a senior trainer at such a young age. You have a bright future, but there is still a big gap between you and Lord Kinglu. I don't know how she had the courage to challenge Lord Kinglu. 740 Hearing that Li Mengsu was going to challenge Kinglu, people around him started talking. There are those who praise and those who ridicule. Li Mengsu also blushed slightly, knowing that if she said something challenging Kinglu in front of everyone, she would definitely be laughed at. But this is the only way for her to know the strength gap between herself and Kinglu. Okay, I agree. Seeing how seriously the girl in front of her looked, Kinglu agreed to her request. He has an impression of this girl. The opponent's Pokémon also seems to be a Charizard. You said you agreed to my challenge. Hearing Kinglu's agreement, Li Mengsu was slightly stunned and didn't react for a while. I thought King Lu would also laugh at her and then reject her. Li Mengsu did not expect that Lord King Lu would agree without hesitation. Well, I accept your challenge, King Lu nodded again and replied, okay, come with me. You probably haven't eaten either. It's not too late for us to fight after dinner. Kong Xian smiled slightly at Li Mengsu. He's hungry and cold now, and if he fights now, it will take at least half an hour. That's no need. I still have friends. I'll just wait here for Mr. King Lu. Li Mengsu rejected Kong Xian's invitation without hesitation. Are you kidding me? What kind of people are eating together? President Chen Wu, Principal Kong Xian, Your Excellency King Lu, Erica teacher, these big guys are having dinner together, and even if she dares to fight, she will not dare to get involved. Is that so? Then take your friends with you. Kong Xian was silent for a moment and invited Li Mengsu and her friends to have dinner together. They were all having a dinner anyway, so 2 more people wouldn't be much, so it didn't matter if they just went by. This. Kong Xian's invitation again caught Li Mengsu by surprise, and she didn't know how to answer for a while. Let's go. Today is our school dinner, don't worry. At this moment, Erica walked to Li Mengsu and comforted her. Yes, I understand, Erica teacher. Looking at Erica's warm smile, Li Mengsu agreed at the same time. Li Mengsu's best friend Jing Jing also arrived finally. Under the leadership of Kong Xian, everyone came to the largest banquet hall of Kangyan Hotel. Wow, it's so big. As soon as he stepped into the banquet hall, Ash was stunned by the scene in front of him. It was splendid and dazzling. Although it was not the first time to see such a banquet hall, Ash was still very excited. 0.2 Pika Pika. Pikachu jumped down from Ash's shoulders and jumped around in the banquet hall, looking very happy. Everyone, let's release our Pokémon. Looking at the active Pikachu, Kong Xian ordered. This gathering is not only a gathering of them, but also a gathering of Pokémon. As their partners, you must also participate. Chapter 178, the party begins. Come out, Alakazam. Kong Xian was the first to release his own Pokémon with the Pokéball's red light flashing. Alakazam appeared in front of everyone. Wow, it's Alakazam. Principal Kong's Abra has actually evolved into Alakazam. Looking at Alakazam in front of him, Jing Jing said excitedly. Kong Xian's previous Pokémon was Abra, but he didn't expect it to evolve into Alakazam after missing him for a while. Everyone, please come out too. Erica followed closely and released her Pokémon. Venusaur, Blossom, Gloom, and Kingflower are all grass-type Pokémon. In that case, let's go too. Others also released their own Pokémon. The scene suddenly became a mess. What the hell? Looking at the green Charizard and Ash's Charizard with their arms folded across their chests, looking at her Charizard with disdain, Li Mengsu felt like she had received 10,000 points of critical damage. Her Charizard is obviously taller than the green Charizard and Ash's Charizard. Arnold, wow, this is a Pokémon I've never seen before. What Pokémon is this? On the other side, Chen Wu seemed to have discovered a new continent, his face almost pressed against the cheek-biting dragon. This is the first time he has encountered such a strange Pokémon. The whole appearance seems to be spliced together. Really? What kind of Pokémon is this? It's so strange seeing this. Other people gathered around curiously. This made the Jillbiter shyly hide behind Ash's legs. His name is Nisaurus, and it's a fossil Pokémon, but it's the only one in the world. Seeing that so many people were curious, Ash proudly introduced, because the Jillbiter is an accidental product, there is only one in the world, fossil Pokémon. When Chen Wei heard this, he immediately became interested and set his sights on Kong Xian. I want to know how to apply for Pokémon with fossil. You should know that Pokémon comes from another world. No living thing will disappear without reason, nor will it appear without reason. In the original world where Pokémon lived, Pokémon, like the animals in our world, also had ancient times, and Ash's Pokémon is a Pokémon from ancient times. Kong Xian explained slowly. There were more people here today, and Kong Xian didn't explain much. Chen Wu understood what Kong Xian meant instantly and didn't ask further. Wow, Principal Kong is truly a walking Pokémon encyclopedia, and he even knows this. You are questioning Principal Kong's ability. Hey, don't talk nonsense. There was a lot of excitement at the banquet, and everyone was in contest condition to eat and drink. It turns out the teacher Erica is Principal Kong's girlfriend. Fortunately, I didn't pursue Teacher Li, Winona. Teacher, You probably don't have a boyfriend. At the banquet, some male teachers drank a little too much and began to become bolder, and began to inquire about the relationship status of these female teachers. Ahem, cough, cough. I advise you not to pay attention to Winona teacher. Winona teacher not only has a boyfriend, but she is also a very powerful trainer. When he heard someone paying attention to Winona, the wine in Kong Xian's mouth just spit out go crazy. Focus on Winona. Winona's boyfriend is Wallace from the Hone region. Not only is he powerful, his appearance is also outstanding. Period. Chapter 179, The Battle Begins. Ah. That's it. Hearing that Winona had a boyfriend, the male teacher set his sights on Ho Yan again. Ho Yan's heart only belongs to Master Maxi. Ho Yan replied weakly. Hearing that Ho Yan has someone in his heart, the male teacher can only look for the target again. When he sets his sights on Sabrina, what she received was Sabrina's fierce eyes. Kong Xian had to admire the courage of this teacher. He dared to hit anyone who paid attention to him. At this moment, Kong Xian found King Lu sitting alone in front of the window, wondering what he was thinking. You guys chat first, I'll go over and take a look. Kong Xian signaled to everyone, and then walked towards the green side. How are you? Did you encounter any danger during this trip to Antarctica? Kong Xian walked up to King Lu, patted King Lu's shoulder and asked with concern. King Lu turned around and saw Kong Xian coming to his side. King Lu shook his head towards Kong Xian, indicating that he was not in any danger with Pryce as a teammate. Things developed much more smoothly than with him. Your Excellency, Principal, when will Chiheng arrive? The two were silent for a moment, and King Lu asked Kong Xian. This trip to Antarctica gave him a new understanding. He had a feeling that it wouldn't be long before he could break through and enter Pryce's realm, but his competition, rival, has yet to come to this world in this way. King Lu was a little worried. What if she broke through to that realm and Chiheng hadn't come to this world yet? A feeling of loneliness surged into King Lu's heart. Who knows? Kong took a sip of beer from the can and replied helplessly with his hands spread out. He didn't know when he would be able to summon Chiheng. Your Excellency King Lu, can you start a Pokemon battle with me now? At this moment, Li Mengsu's weak voice sounded behind King Lu and Kong Xian. It was getting late now, and she wanted to finish this battle as soon as possible. No problem, King Lu nodded. He had not drank just now. The purpose was to keep smelling salts in his mind for this battle. Fight this battle in the best possible contest condition. In that case, then come with me. Seeing that King Lu agreed, Kong Xian led the way for the two of them. Kangyan Hotel, as the largest hotel in Suzhou and Hangzhou, naturally has a battle arena for guests, but it's just a simple venue, and you can't freely switch the game attribute venue like Evergreen Academy. Seeing this, the others were half sober and followed him one after another. In their eyes, nothing is more important than Pokemon battles, especially this kind of game with a huge gap in strength is likely to turn into a teaching game. Maybe you can learn a lot soon. Everyone arrived at a competition venue at Kangyan Hotel with the help of the staff. There were no other onlookers except people from their school. I announced the start of the game. With Kong Xian's order, the game just started. Go, Charizard. Li Mengsu immediately released his strongest Pokemon, Charizard. The Kings won. With a Pokeball's red light flashing, an orange-red Charizard appeared on the battlefield. Come on, Vivi. Looking at Charizard appearing at the competition venue, Li Mengsu's best friend Jing Jing cheered Li Mengsu up. Let's go to Charizard. At the same time, King Lu also released his most powerful Pokemon. It is also an orange-red Charizard, but the green Charizard's body is darker and larger than Li Mengsu's Charizard. Period. Chapter 180, The Feeling of Green Oppression. Charizard, you want to go up too, right? As if feeling the strong fighting spirit of the two Charizards, Ash's Charizard swayed in the Pokeball and seemed to want to participate in the battle. When they were in Antarctica, they only cooperated to deal with Kyurem, and there was no real battle. Ash also wants to have a battle with the green Charizard. Your Excellency King Lu, please give me your advice. Li Mengsu bowed to King Lu, and then began to command her Charizard to attack. She also knew very well that this battle would most likely be a coaching battle. Charizard, soar. Li Mengsu immediately directed Charizard to fly towards sky. Roar. Following Charizard's roar, Li Mengsu's Charizard flapped its wings and flew towards the sky at the battle site 570. Let's fly to Charizard. King Lu didn't hesitate at all, commanding Charizard to let his own Charizard fly just like that. The two Charizards flapped their wings and floated in midair. 2. Get Charizard. Use Flamethrower. Lee Mengsu took the lead in commanding Charizard to release the Flame Jet. Roar. As Lee Mengsu's command voice fell, Lee Mengsu's Charizard sprayed a stream of hot flames towards the green Charizard. However, facing Lee Mengsu's Charizard's attack, Kinglu didn't even have the power to command Charizard let the opponent's flames hit. Beta yourself, Charizard. It's amazing. Is this the strength of Mr. Kinglu? There is no damage at all waiting for Lee Mengsu's Charizard's flames to recede. Lee Mengsu's best friend exclaimed when looking at the unharmed Charizard as her best friend. Lee Mengsu knew very well how high Charizard's flames were, but now she didn't cause any harm to the other party. Such a high temperature flame actually dispersed with just a tap from the other party. That's amazing. Mr. Kinglu, when can I do this? Only by watching the battle up close can you feel the powerful oppression of Lord Kinglu. The teachers who were watching him were also shocked. Although the video of the battle between Kinglu and Jin Fipeng went viral on the internet, not many people watched it live. They couldn't feel the oppression brought by the green color from the video. Charizard is originally a fire-type Pokemon and has super high fire-type resistance. If you add fire resistance training to Charizard, your Charizard can also do this. Looking at Lee Mengsu, who was a little distracted, Kong Xian opened his mouth to comfort him despite the power gap between them. Green is very good at Pokemon breeder. His Charizard has fire resistance that other Charizards don't have. Even Ash's Charizard was burned by fire-based moves, but Kinglu can guarantee that his Charizard will never be burned by fire moves. Of course, moves like Will-O-Wisp are accepted. So, this is a Charizard. From now on we will also start training to increase fire resistance. After hearing this, Ash picked up his Charizard and said to him, as long as there is a way to improve the strength of his Pokemon, he will never miss it. How about it? Do you want to continue? At this moment, Kinglu asked Lee Mengsu, of course we have to continue. I won't give in so easily. Since fire-based moves don't work, then use something else. Charizard uses wing attack. Hearing Kinglu's inquiry, Lee Mengsu regained her composure and directed Charizard to attack again. How could she give up this opportunity so easily? Chapter 181, Ash's Challenge. Call. A gust of wind blew by, and Lee Mengsu's Charizard flapped its wings and flew towards the green Charizard. Charizard, let's go too. Use wing attack. On the other side, Kinglu chose to use the same move as Lee Mengsu, letting his Charizard also use wing attack. Roar. Suddenly, Charizard roared from the entire training ground. Two Charizards collide. Lee Mengsu's Charizard was knocked to the ground by the green Charizard without any accident. Although he has not lost his combat effectiveness, he cannot continue to fight. It's amazing. Vivi lost so quickly. Seeing this scene, Lee Mengsu's best friend was shocked. She knew Kinglu was strong, but she didn't expect it to be so strong. Lee Mengsu was not on the same level as him at all. Come back, Charizard. Seeing that the outcome was decided, Lee Mengsu bit her lip and took back her Charizard unwillingly. Thank you for your advice, Mr. Green. Lee Mengsu bowed deeply to Kinglu and thanked her. She originally wanted to take this opportunity to see how far she was from the top trainers, but the opponent's intensity simply made her unable to see the difference. You're welcome. Your Charizard training is pretty good too. There's a lot of potential and I'm looking forward to the next fight with you. Kinglu shook his head and praised the other party. This girl named Lee Mengsu has no major problems with Charizard, except that her current level is a bit lower. As long as you raise your level, you will definitely become a powerful trainer in the future. Brother Kinglu, come and fight with me too. My Charizard has already lost his patience. Do you think it's Charizard? At this moment Ash jumped out and took out the Pokeball containing Charizard to challenge Kinglu. The battle between Lee Mengsu's Charizard and the green Charizard just now had aroused the militant factor in his body. As soon as the battle ended, I couldn't help but want to have a battle with Kinglu. Roar. The Pokeball containing Charizard suddenly opened and a red light flashed. Ash's Charizard appeared next to Ash, looking at the green Charizard with fighting intent in his eyes. Wow, another Charizard. It's really lively. If I weren't too weak, I would have wanted to join in the fun. I wonder how strong Ash's Charizard is. It seems that the momentum is quite strong, but it is definitely not as strong as Lord Kinglu's Charizard. The battle between Ash and Green is really exciting. Please give me flowers. 0. Seeing the Charizard released by Ash, the surrounding teachers started talking again. I'll take up your challenge, Kinglu. didn't have any fear and accepted Ash's challenge without hesitation. His Charizard had just been through a battle, but had been unscathed, therefore, it will not affect this battle. Roar. 0. The two Charizards roared at each other, unwilling to admit defeat. Sabrina, who do you think will win? Looking at the two Charizards at war with each other, Erica asked Sabrina next to her expectantly. Although Ash is Red's peer, there is still a big gap in strength between him and Red. In this game, I think Kingler will still win. After Sabrina heard this, she thought for a moment and replied. She had already seen Ash's strength during the Kyurem incident. He is worthy of the title of Crimson Peer and is a very powerful trainer without using Psychic. She considers herself not Ash's rival, but she still thinks Kinglu's strength is superior. Is that so? Then I'll choose Ash. After hearing that Sabrina chose green to win, Erica chose Ash coins. Period. Chapter 182. Ash's strength. In this case, I announce the start of the game. Kong Xian gave an order and announced the start of the game. Kong Xian was also very surprised by Ash's challenge, but it didn't stop. On the contrary, he fully agreed with this discussion. Every powerful trainer becomes stronger through constant battles, including Xiaoqi. Although his talent is high, he is not invincible from the beginning. It was also through countless 210 battles that he gained the title of Combat Expert. Let's go. Charizard, use Flamethrow. As Kong Xian announced the start of the game, Ash immediately commanded his Charizard to attack. Roar. A flame that was so hot that even the surrounding heat was felt erupted from Ash's Charizard mouth. What a strong flame. Feeling the heat of the flames, Li Mengsu exclaimed inwardly. From this flame, Li Mengsu felt the power of this Charizard. This shocked Li Mengsu. Don't be discouraged. Their training methods are very different from ours. She seemed to be aware of Li Mengsu's loss. Kong Xian walked to Li Mengsu and comforted him. As a human being in this world, Li Mengsu possesses the strength of a high-level trainer. At this age, it can be said that the talent is already very high. Well, Mr. Principal, I understand. Hearing Kong Xian's comfort, Li Mengsu nodded and cheered up again. Charizard, we use Flamethrow. 2. Facing the flames released by Ash Charizard, Midori did not dare to resist, commanding his own Charizard to release flames to fight against Ash Charizard's flames. Boom. There was a loud noise. The two giant flames collided together, erupting with an explosive roar. The powerful air wave made everyone around him take a few steps back. Go ahead, Swinub, use Powered Snow. Just then, Pryce released his Swinub. A burst of snow fell from midair, cooling down the entire training ground without affecting the battle between Ash and Kinglu. What a terrifying move control. Is this the level of strength? It's really powerful. Seeing this scene, Chen Wu was shocked. This terrifying move control has reached a subtle level of terror. I'm on fire. Charizard rushes over and uses Dragon Claw. Ash and Kinglu, who were fighting, were not affected by the surroundings at all and devoted themselves to the battle. Use Cleave to stop. Seeing Ash's Charizard attack, Green immediately counterattacked. Just the two Charizards were engaged in close combat, and within a short period of time the two Charizards could not tell the difference between the winner and the loser. But if you look carefully, in the battle of power, Ash's Charizard is not the green Charizard's rival. Show your backbone, Charizard. We must not lose. Seeing this, Ash immediately pumped up his eruption oil. Pika. Pika, even Ash's Pikachu is like this. Roar. Sure enough, after hearing Ash and Pikachu cheering, Ash's Charizard's strength increased by 5.0 again. Charizard is vaguely suppressing the green color. You're really strong, Ash. Your strength requires me to deal with it with all my strength. Charizard, burn, use chopping attack. Although he has already seen Ash's Charizard, Kinglu also gave a very high evaluation to Ash Charizard's strength. I recognize the identity of Ash, the Red Peer. Period. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 183, Lost? Roar. The green Charizard turned his head and sprayed hot flames accurately on Ash Charizard's head. Facing the scorching flames, even the fire-type Charizard screamed in pain. The flames on the tail behind him began to burn violently. Its fire ability, it Seems Ash's Charizard can't hold on any longer. That's not necessarily true. Charizard has activated the fire ability, and his fire-based moves will be greatly improved. Maybe he can really defeat Lord Kinglu. What are you thinking, 14? How could Lord Kinglu be defeated by Ash? It's absolutely impossible. Seeing Ash's Charizard activate the fire ability, people around him started talking about it. Charizard, hold on, use seismic toss. Ash, on the other side, became anxious when he saw Charizard activating the fire ability, but he is no longer the reckless young man before, calmly directing Charizard to counterattack, trying to close the disadvantage. Roar. Charizard endured the scorching flames on his body, picked up the green Charizard, used seismic toss, flew towards soaring in the sky, and then quickly smashed towards the ground. Charizard used charged fire. Kinglu didn't panic at all, commanding his Charizard to use charged flames. Following Kinglu's command, the green Charizard's whole body was burning with flames. It's like a big fireball, normal falling downwards. Force. Seeing this, Sabrina took the lead in releasing her psychic, creating a wall of light screens prevent the shock wave generated by tackle ground from spreading to everyone again later. Psychic? What kind of people are these? Li Mengsu, who had never seen psychic before, was shocked again. She didn't expect that the teacher here actually had psychic. Other teachers who were recruited around were also shocked by Sabrina's psychic. TCH, what's so great about it? Seeing Sabrina in the limelight, the only person who feels unhappy is Sabrina's nemesis, Claire the Dragon. Boom. A loud noise pulled everyone back to the playing field from Sabrina's psychic. I saw two Charizards, like a huge fireball. Normal, tackle to the ground. Suddenly a powerful air wave was generated. Fortunately, Sabrina used psychic to create light screen in advance, so no one suffered any impact. Who wins? Who wins? Seeing the smoke erupting from the venue, everyone was curious about who won. When the smoke cleared, only two Charizards were seen standing on the playing field. The playing field used for fighting has long been changed beyond recognition. It's so awesome. The winner hasn't been decided yet. It's so awesome. A hero comes from a boy, and Ash and Kinglu are really awesome. These 560 games are so exciting. Isn't it over yet? Looking at Charizard on the playing field, Kong Xian narrowed his eyes slightly with psychic. His perception is stronger than that of ordinary people. He could sense that Ash's Charizard was at the end of its strength in one round at most. You will lose your combat effectiveness. The green Charizard didn't even activate its fire ability, so it was obvious that he still had plenty of physical strength. If nothing unexpected happens in this battle, the probability is that Kinglu will win. It seems I won. In addition to Kong Xian, Sabrina also noticed it announced to Erica that he won the bet. Period. Chapter 184. Defeat. It seems that there is still a big gap between Ash and Kinglu's strength. Erica nodded in agreement. He didn't know about the other Pokémon, but he could tell from the battle between these two Charizards. There is still a clear gap between Ash's Charizard's strength and the green Charizard. Ash's Charizard endured the pain in his body and kept breathing heavily. His eyes were still burning with unyielding fighting spirit. Charizard, fly. After receiving Ash's command, Ash's Charizard flashed its wings and flew towards soaring in the sky. Let's use our strongest attack, Dragon Rush. Charizard, block it. Facing the Dragon Rush released by Ash Charizard, Green chose to resist hard. Roar. Following Kinglu's command, Charizard looked up at Ash's Charizard. The arms are in the X position for defense. Boom. A loud noise. Ash's Charizard and the green Charizard collided again. The powerful impact made the green Charizard take a few steps back. Come on, Charizard, we absolutely can't lose. Ash cheered on his Charizard. So are we. Charizard, come down. Kinglu is also constantly cheering for his Charizard. Boom. A sound. At this moment, the flames on the tail behind the green Charizard suddenly burned violently. It's amazing. Ash actually activated Lord Kinglu's Charizard with the fire ability. Both Pokémon are at their limit. I don't know who will win this battle. The direction of the explosion just now seems to be the gathering place of Evergreen College, isn't there a little girl who wants to challenge Lord Kinglu? They should be having a Pokémon battle. I think I should go take a look. Who would want to go? I heard from a friend in the Education Bureau that all our schools in Suhang City had a competition with Changking College. Evergreen College beats all schools and becomes the #1 college in Suzhou and Hangzhou. The Admission scores this time will be based on our highest standards in Suzhou and Hangzhou. Let me go? Is this true or false? Is Evergreen College so arrogant? Your news is too out there. Isn't the greenness of championship level strength enough to explain it? There is also a personal visit from His Excellency President Chen Wu. Doesn't this explain everything? Damn it, if that were the case, wouldn't Evergreen College suddenly become the top college in our Yanhuang region? It's hard to say. What Evergreen College has shown so far is that teachers are relatively strong. I wonder what their teaching standards are like. That's right. What schools compete for is teaching quality. No matter what, those people from Ivy League College who are assigned to Evergreen College are really making a lot of money. At the same time, the competition in the battle arena has also come to an end. Not surprisingly, Ash's Charizard lost its combat effectiveness to 0. Of Charizard, looking at Charizard who lost his fighting power, Ash felt a little distracted for a moment. Ash, it seems that there is still a big gap between you and big brother Kinglu. Looking at the disappointed Ash, as Ash's good friend, Gary stepped forward to comfort him. Next time, I will definitely defeat brother Kinglu. Come back, Charizard. Sure enough, after hearing Gary's stimulation, Ash immediately came to life. Then Charizard was taken back. Period. Chapter 185, Target. Brother Kinglu, I will definitely defeat you next time we meet. Ash put Charizard away and said to Kinglu he and his Charizard haven't reached their limit yet. Ash, you are indeed very strong, but I won't give in so easily. I will be waiting for your challenge at the Viridian Gym. Kinglu was also full of fighting spirit. He had an intuition that if he didn't make progress during this period, he would be in trouble. It is very likely that this person from Ash will catch up. They both have so much fighting spirit, Li Mengxu said with some envy as she watched the battle between Ash and Kinglu about 097 times. Well, Green and Ash are both very talented, and their goals are Pokemon Masters, and they are all working hard towards their goals. You should also have a goal of your own. Kong Xian continued from the side. If people have no goals, their strength will stay where they are, just like Erica. She yearned for peace. After the war in their world subsided, her life returned to daily life, and her strength had not improved for a long time. There is also Sabrina, who was born with a powerful psychic and should be the most potential trainer in the Kanto region besides Giovanni, but after the Battle of Shendu, Sabrina chose to quit Team Rocket and became an actor, but her strength remained unchanged. On the contrary, Yulong Claire is a good role model. There is a cousin of Yulong Du, and Yulong Xiachen has a lot of pressure. The goal has been to defeat Lance from the beginning, and he has been working hard to do so. Now his strength has surpassed the Kanto Elite Four and has become an elite level trainer, and his strength is still improving. I believe he can at least become a top champion trainer in the future. However, these people already have championship level strength. Even if they don't work hard, they are still top trainers. Bebj, but these children are different. They have unlimited potential and should have a goal to pursue. Target. After hearing this, Li Mengxu was slightly startled, then her eyes gradually became firm and she nodded towards Kong Xian. Okay, the battle between Ash and Green is over. Are there any of you who want to continue fighting? Kong Xian shouted to everyone. I want to have a battle with Gary teacher, soon. A voice came from the crowd, threatening to challenge Gary. Very good, I accept your challenge. Come out, Blastoise. Gary's heart was already itchy after being stimulated by Ash just now. Release your Blastoise immediately and accept this teacher's challenge. He must be Kinglu's counterpart from other worlds. I wonder what his strength is like. Watching the Blastoise released by Gary, Yulong Qian said to himself with interest in the battle between Ash and Kinglu just now. They have already recognized the strength of this trainer named Ash, and the green in their world is not inferior to the red trainer. He looks forward to Gary's performance. While Gary was fighting with other teachers, Long Zhangyang returned to the Yanhuang region Pokemon headquarters with the bodies of Elite Zin and Professor Zhang Yang. Period. Chapter 186, Talks. Thank you for your hard work. At the Yanhuang region headquarters, Long Zhangyang had just landed, and President Xiang Xianlin was already waiting for them here. Sorry, teacher, I couldn't bring the others back. Long Zhangyang will leave the Dragonite, untie the rope from his body, and slowly lower the ice sculpture body of Professor Zhang Yang. In order to bring Professor Zhang Yang's body back, he carried it on his back like this along the way. It's all my fault. If I were stronger, I could protect Professor and the others. Mentioning this, even the strongest Hizin could not help but shed tears for her weakness. If she were as strong as that person named Pryce, she would have defeated Kyurem and protected Professor and the others. It's not your fault, you've done your best, Xiang. Xianlin comforted. Who could have imagined that such a powerful Pokemon would suddenly descend from Antarctica? Aaron, go and arrange Professor's body, and then tell me the specific situation. Xianlin told Long Zhangyang. Yes, teacher, I understand. Long Zhangyang nodded, picked up Professor Zhangyang's body again, and prepared to place it in the ice coffin prepared by Alliance. Soon the three of them came to Xianlin's office together. Zio. Zin, tell me what happened that day. How did Kyurem come to be, and what are his abilities? Xianlin asked questions one after another. Although he already knew some information, he still wanted to know some specific situations. That day, Professor and I continued to search for the mysterious bird Pokemon in Antarctica. After a month of searching, we finally found the mysterious bird Pokemon, Articuno. But just as we caught up with Articuno, Kyurem arrived. Zin slowly explained to Xianlin while recalling. Even now, Hizin still has lingering fears when thinking about Kyurem's power. That's it. Until the little girl named Zhao used a Pokeball called Master Ball, Kyurem was subdued. It didn't take long before Hizin recounted what he had encountered in Antarctica. Is that so? Please give me flowers. After listening to Hizin's story, Xianlin nodded and then fell silent. Things were more serious than he thought. Kyurem alone is so difficult to deal with, let alone the mysterious Pryce who can fight Kyurem. The existence of these two has seriously threatened the safety of their Yanhuang region. Teacher, I heard that President Chen Wu went to Evergreen College and lost her little girl. At this moment, Long Zhangyang answered from the side. The first time he entered the Yanhuang region, he saw Chen Wu playing against a teacher named Erica from Evergreen College on the internet, and the final outcome turned out to be the chairman. Chen Wu lost to the opponent. This made Long Zhangyang deeply fearful of the strength of Evergreen College. Any teacher can defeat the president of their alliance, but what about the others? Does it have the same combat effectiveness, or even greater strength? He didn't know about others, but during the battle with Kyurem, these reinforcements sent by Evergreen College are extremely powerful. Earth. Chapter 187. Doubt. With these powerful trainers gathered together, it's hard to imagine that they don't have a conspiracy. Will President Chen be okay? Zin asked worriedly. She didn't expect that so many things would happen in China during her trip to Antarctica, and Evergreen College suddenly emerged. It also set off Pokemon education reforms. Chen Wu should be fine. I just saw on the internet that he and Kong Xian went to have dinner with the 640 people. The talks with Evergreen College should be good. We should know what the purpose of Evergreen College is before long. Xianlin explained slowly. Now people from the entire Yanhuang region will go to Chenwu to visit Evergreen College. In other words, people in the entire Yanhuang region are helping them keep an eye on Evergreen College. If Evergreen College had other ideas, it would never be stupid enough to take action at this time, and judging from the information revealed by Chen Wu, it seems that he has gotten the answer he wanted. Next, they only need to wait for Chen Wu to return and tell them what he knows. That's good. Zin felt relieved after hearing Xianlin's answer. The impression Pryce left on her was truly terrifying. If she hadn't seen it with her own eyes, she wouldn't have believed that someone could train Swinub and Delibird to be so terrifying. Okay, let's put the matter of Evergreen College aside for now and wait until President Chen Wu comes back. We need to solve the problems within our alliance first. Xianlin's eyes suddenly became sharp. Long Zhangyang and the others went to Antarctica for rescue, but were attacked by the Dark Association on the way. Moreover, the other party was very well prepared and had obviously received the news in advance. The only possibility is that someone within Alliance conveyed the news to the Dark Association now. Except for the elites, champions, and presidents of their 5 theaters, they know about the Antarctic trip. Some people at the Emergency Rescue Center and Evergreen College also know these things. The rats hiding in Alliance are now hiding among these people. If they are not found out in time, they will be very passive in the future against the Dark Association. Moreover, now the Dark Association has mastered another technology that can allow Pokemon to evolve again. This forced him to pay attention. Aaron, who do you think will be the person who will report your actions to the Dark Association? Xianlin asked Long Zhangyang, wanting to see what Long Zhangyang thought. I don't know who it is either, but Evergreen College probably doesn't belong to the Dark Association. Long Zhang Yang thought for a moment and replied, Evergreen College, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. If Evergreen College is really a member of the Dark Association, then they wouldn't be standing here now. Although Evergreen College has ulterior secrets, it can be seen from this that Evergreen College is not a member of the Dark Association. As for the others, he couldn't say anything without conclusive evidence. What about you? He's in. Who do you think it could be? Xiang. Xianlin asked Heezin again. I want to see Heezin's opinion on 3.8. I am not sure as well. Zin also shook her head. She had just returned and was still unclear about some of the things happening in the country. After Xianlin heard this, he kept tapping his fingers on the table and fell into thinking, well, you just came back from Antarctica. Go back and rest first. We'll wait until Chen Wu comes back to discuss everything. Xianlin told Long Zhangyang and Heezin. Chapter 188 nodded. Long Zhangyang and Heezin nodded and left Xianlin's office. The two were walking on the corridor of the Yanhuang region headquarters. The lights were dim, and only the moonlight outside the window guided them. Aaron, do you think Evergreen College really has nothing to do with the Dark Association? Heezin asked in a low voice. Long Zhangyang was silent for a moment, and then said, I'm not sure, but I believe Kong Xian. He is the dean of Evergreen College. If there is anything wrong with him, I believe I will notice it. Zin sighed softly. I'm just worried that we have too many enemies now, not only the Dark Association, but also trainers who don't know the truth. 14. The two of them walked to the hall. Suddenly, a figure walked out of the darkness. It was Kong Xian. Dean. Kong. Long Zhangyang shouted in surprise. Kong Xian smiled slightly. I heard that you are back, so I came here to see you. Zin looked at Kong Xian with a trace of doubt in his eyes. Dean Kong, how did you know we were back? Kong Xian said calmly, the information exchange between Evergreen College and Yanhuang region headquarters has always been smooth. I am just a little concerned. Long Zhangyang looked at Kong Xian with a hint of vigilance in his eyes. Dean Kong, why are you here? Kong Xian looked at the two of them and said, I want to talk to you about the Dark Association. Zin asked nervously, what do you know? Kong Xian sighed, I may know more than you think. The Dark Association's target is not just the Yanhuang region. Their tentacles have extended to other regions. Long Zhangyang clenched his fists. Then what should we do? Kong Xian looked at the two of them. A trace of determination flashed in his eyes. We need to unite to fight against the Dark Association. Zin asked in confusion, why did you suddenly say that? Kong Xian took a deep breath, because I discovered some secrets about the Dark Association. Not only did they master a technology that can allow Pokémon to evolve again, but they also have other more terrifying plans. Long Zhangyang and Heezin were both shocked. They had never heard that the Dark Association had other plans. Kong Xian looked at the two people and continued, I need your help. Only if we unite can we fight against the Dark Association. Long Zhangyang was silent for a moment, and then said, okay, I promise you. Zin also nodded, I agree too. Kong Xian smiled slightly. Then, we are allies. The three shook hands and decided to join forces to fight against the Dark Association. Suddenly, the door of the hall was pushed open violently, and a figure rushed in. It was Xianlin. He looked at the three of them with a trace of doubt in his eyes. What are you doing here? Kong Xian looked at Xianlin and said lightly, we are discussing how to fight against the Dark Association. A flash of anger flashed in Xianlin's eyes. You don't trust me. Kong Xian shook his head. That's not the case. We just want to better fight against the Dark Association. Xianlin looked at the three of them and said, okay, I believe you. The four decided to join forces to fight against the Dark Association. Xianlin looked at Kong Xian and suddenly asked, Dean Kong, you said you discovered the secret of the Dark Association. Tell us. Kong Xian was silent for a moment, and then said, the Dark Association is looking for an ancient Pokémon, which is said to have infinite power. If they find it, the entire Yanhuang region will be in crisis. Zin asked nervously, what Pokémon is that? Kong Xian took a deep breath. The legendary Pokémon of Time Zero. Long Zhangyang said in shock, I have heard of this legend, but I thought it was just a legend. Chapter 189 Just a legend. Kong Xian shook his head. This is not just a legend. In ancient documents, there are records about the Pokémon of time. It is described as a magical creature that can control the flow of time and even travel through time and space. Xin said nervously, so, if the Dark Association masters this power, then we will face an unprecedented crisis. Kong Xian interrupted her with a heavy tone. Xiang Xianlin frowned. We must stop them. Kong Xian nodded. I have sent people to search for clues about the Pokemon of time everywhere, but the actions of the Dark Association are very secretive, and we need more information. Long Zhangyang thought for a moment and said, I remember that an ancient temple related to time was mentioned in the ancient books of the Yanhuang region. There may be clues we need there. A glimmer of hope flashed in Kong Xian's eyes. Then we must act as soon as possible, Xiang Xianlin said. I will mobilize all resources in the Yanhuang region and cooperate with Evergreen College to jointly search for the Pokemon of time. The four decided to take action immediately. Long Zhangyang and Hezin were responsible for going to the ancient temple, while Kong Xian and Xiang Xianlin were responsible for cooperating with Pokemon trainers from other regions to fight against the Dark Association. The ancient temple is located in the west of Yanhuang region, a place forgotten by time. After several days of travel, Long Zhangyang and Hezin finally arrived here. The appearance of the temple has been eroded by time and is dilapidated, but the structure inside is still strong. The two entered the temple cautiously, which was full of ancient atmosphere. As the two went deeper into the temple, they discovered a huge stone tablet with ancient texts engraved on it. Hezin read it carefully. What is written here is, the Pokemon of time, the secret of controlling time. Only a true brave can unlock its imprison. A trace of determination flashed in Long Zhangyang's eyes. We must find this imprison and stop the Dark Association. The two continued to go deep into the temple, and soon they came to a huge basement. In the center of the basement, there is a huge stone platform with an ancient artifact placed on it. Hezin stepped forward carefully and picked up the artifact. Suddenly, the entire basement began to shake, and a huge beam of light shot out from the artifact and shot straight into the sky. Long Zhangyang shouted, Hezin, put it down quickly, but it was too late. The entire temple began to collapse, and the two hurriedly escaped. When they returned outside, they found that the entire temple had been reduced to ruins. And the artifact also disappeared. Hezin said regretfully, I'm sorry, I was too impulsive. Long Zhangyang comforted her, it doesn't matter. The most important thing for us now is to go back and tell Dean Kong and Xiang Weilin. The two returned to the Yanhuang region headquarters and told Kong Xian and Xiang Xianlin everything. After listening to their descriptions, Kong Xian's face became very serious. This artifact may be the key to unlocking the Pokemon of time. If the Dark Association obtains it, the consequences will be disastrous. Xiang Xianlin asked eagerly, then what should we do now? Kong Xian pondered for a moment. We must find the artifact, and then find the Pokemon of time to ensure that it does not fall into the hands of the Dark Association. Long Zhangyang said, I think we should find the artifact first, and then look for the Pokemon of time. Kong Xian nodded, you are right. We must divide our work and cooperate. Xiang Xianlin and I will continue to work with Pokemon trainers in other regions to find traces of the Dark Association. You and Hezin will be responsible for finding the artifact. Xin said nervously, but how do we find it? The temple has become ruins, and the artifact is unknown where it went. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelists. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 190 Small Box. Kong Xian took out a small box. This is an ancient scanner that can detect the energy of artifacts. As long as you follow its guidance, you should be able to find the artifacts. Long Zhangyang and Hezin took the scanner and felt a powerful energy emanating from it. Kong Xian said seriously, time is running out, you must act as soon as possible. The two nodded and set off immediately. After several days of searching, scanner finally sent a strong signal. The two followed the signal to a remote valley. There is an ancient village in the valley. The villagers are all dressed in ancient costumes, as if time has stopped here. Hezin whispered, is this? Long Zhangyang nodded, yes, this is the legendary Time Village. The two entered the village cautiously and found that the villagers were very friendly to them. After questioning, they learned that the artifact was kept by the village elders. The two came to the elders' home and saw a gray-haired old man meditating. Long Zhangyang said respectfully, Elder, We are here to find the artifact. The elder slowly opened his eyes and looked at them. Are you trying to stop the Dark Association? Xin nodded. Yes, we must find the artifact to stop them. The elder was silent for a moment. I can give you the artifact, but you must agree to one condition. Long Zhang Yang asked nervously. What are the conditions? The elder said. You must ensure that the Pokemon of time will not be used by anyone. The two immediately agreed. We swear. The elder nodded, took out the artifact from behind and handed it to them. I hope you can succeed. The two gratefully accepted the artifact and immediately returned to the Yanhuang region headquarters. But when they returned to headquarters, they found that everything had changed. The headquarters was in a mess, with injured Pokemon and trainers everywhere. Xin said in horror. What's going on? Long Zhang Yang eagerly looked for Kong Xian and Xianlin, but both of them were missing. Suddenly, a man in black appeared in front of them. The people you are looking for are all in our hands. Long Zhang Yang roared. Who are you? The man in black sneered. We are the Dark Association. Xin asked nervously. What are you going to do? A trace of evil flashed in the eyes of the man in black. Now, you have the artifact we need in your hands. Hand it over, or your friends' lives will be in danger. Long Zhang Yang held the artifact tightly, his eyes flashing with determination. We will not hand over the artifact. The man in black sneered. Then, you are ready to watch your friends die? Xin said eagerly. We can exchange conditions, as long as you let Dean Kong and Xianlin go. The man in black thought for a moment. Okay, but before that, I want to ensure the authenticity of the artifact. Long Zhang Yang said warily. You can look, but you can't touch. The man in black nodded, walked closer to observe the artifact, and then said, it seems to be real. Suddenly, there was a sound in the air, and a group of Pokemon rushed towards the man in black. It is a Pokemon team jointly summoned by Kong Xian and Xianlin. The man in black was caught off guard by the sudden attack and hurriedly summoned his Pokemon to fight back in the chaos. Long Zhang Yang and Xin found the imprisoned Kong Xian and Xianlin and quickly rescued them. When Kong Xian saw the two of them, a trace of gratitude flashed in his eyes. Thank you, we must leave here as soon as possible. Xianlin nodded. We must find a safe place to replan the plan against the Dark Association. The four of them successfully escaped from the headquarters under the cover of Pokemon and found a hidden cave to hide temporarily. Kong Xian looked at the artifact in his hand and took a deep breath. This artifact is our best hope against the Dark Association. We can't lose it again. Long Zhang Yang said, we must find the Pokemon of time. Only it can completely stop the Dark Association's evil plan. Xianlin thought for a moment. I think we should be divided into two teams. One team is responsible for protecting the artifact, and the other team is looking for the Pokemon of time. Kong Xian nodded. Xianlin and I are responsible for protecting the artifact, while Long Zhang Yang and Xin go to find the Pokemon of time. The two teams acted quickly. Kong Xian and Xianlin arranged many traps and defense mechanisms in the cave to ensure the safety of the artifact. According to ancient legends, Long Zhang Yang and Xin came to a mysterious place called the Source of Time. Here's a huge lake with crystal clear water. There is a small island in the middle of the lake, and there is an ancient temple on the island. Chapter 191. Be cautious. The two of them walked carefully onto the island and entered the temple. The interior of the temple looks ancient and mysterious, with time-related symbols and texts carved on the walls. Xin said softly, the atmosphere here is so depressing, it feels like time has stopped here. Long Zhang Yang nodded. We must be careful, there may be unknown dangers here. The two went deep into the temple and found a huge stone tablet in the center with a huge clock engraved on it. The hands of the clock were turning slowly. Xin stepped forward and observed carefully. This clock seems to be a password. We need to find the correct time to open the stone tablet. Long Zhang Yang thought for a moment. Did the legend we heard before in the Time Village mention this time? Xin recalled. I remember the elder mentioned that in the oldest era, the sun and the moon appeared at the same time in soaring in the sky, and that was when the Pokemon of time was most active. A flash of understanding flashed in Long Zhang Yang's eyes. In other words, we need to adjust the hands of the clock to the time when the sun and moon appear at the same time. The two quickly adjusted the hands of the clock. When the hands pointed to the position of the sun and the moon, the stone tablet suddenly emitted a strong light, and then slowly opened, revealing a passage. Kong Xian's voice suddenly rang in their ears. You found it. Go in quickly. The Pokemon of Time is inside. The two carefully entered the passage and found that there was a huge cave inside. There was a huge crystal in the center of the cave, and a strange-shaped Pokemon was imprinted in the crystal. Long Zhangyang said excitedly, "This is the Pokemon of Time." Xin nodded. "We must take it back as soon as possible to stop the Dark Association's plan." At this moment, a strong vibration came and the entire cave began to collapse. Xin shouted, "Run!" The two hurriedly escaped from the cave, but found that they were surrounded by people from the Dark Association. The man in black sneered, "You think you can escape easily, Long?" Zhangyang held the artifact tightly and prepared to fight. "We won't let you succeed." The man in black sneered, "Then let's see how capable you are." Just when the two sides were about to confront each other, soaring in the sky suddenly darkened, and a huge shadow blocked the sun. "Please give me flowers." Everyone looked up and saw a huge Pokemon flying soaring in the sky. Its body was emitting a strong light, as if it were the combination of the sun and the moon. Kong Xian's voice sounded again, "That is the true form of the Pokemon of Time, and it has been awakened." The man in black's face changed drastically. "This is impossible." The Pokemon of Time let out a long cry, and then rushed towards the people of the Dark Association. Rays of light shot out from its body, defeating them all. Long Zhangyang and Xin breathed a sigh of relief. "Thank you, Pokemon of Time." 11 The Pokemon of Time nodded slightly, then flew towards soaring in the sky and disappeared into the clouds. Kong Xian and Xiang Xianlin came over, and Kong Xian said, "We succeeded, and the Dark Association's plan has been stopped." Xiang Xianlin nodded, "But we can't take it lightly. They will come back, Long." Zhangyang clenched his fists. "We will always protect this land and prevent anyone from harming it." Kong Xian smiled. "I believe you." The four decided to return to the Yanhuang region headquarters and rebuild the destroyed home factory. Chapter 192 Before leaving. But before they left, Long Zhangyang suddenly felt uneasy. He looked into the distance and seemed to feel a new threat. Xin patted him. "What's wrong, Long?" Zhangyang was silent for a moment. "I don't know, but I feel something is wrong." Soaring in the sky in the distance, a black shadow flew quietly, carrying an ominous aura. Kong Xian stared closely at the black shadow, frowning. "This kind of 823 aura. I have never felt it before." Xiang Xianling frowned. "Does the Dark Association have other plans, Long?" Zhangyang clenched his fists. "No matter what plan they have, we will not let them succeed." Xin looked at soaring in the sky and whispered, "That black shadow seems to be flying in the direction of Yanhuang region." Kong Xian said in a deep voice, "We must go back as soon as possible to see what happened." The four people hurriedly returned to the Yanhuang region, but when they arrived, they found that the entire region was shrouded in a strange haze, and all Pokemon and trainers fell into deep sleep. Long Zhangyang was shocked. "What kind of magic is this?" Kong Xian shook his head. "This is not magic. It may be the ability of a rare Pokemon." Xiang Xianling frowned. "This kind of ability can make all Pokemon and trainers in the entire region fall into sleep. What a power it is." Xin said worriedly, "What should we do? We can't just watch them sleep forever." Kong Xian thought for a moment. "We need to find that rare Pokemon. Maybe it knows how to remove this effect, Long." Zhangyang nodded. "Then where do we start?" Kong Xian looked at the retreating black shadow. "We should look in the direction of that black shadow. It may give us some clues." The four people immediately set off and followed the direction of the black shadow deep into the Yanhuang region. After a day's trek, they came to a forest shrouded in haze. Xin said softly, "The atmosphere here is very similar to that in the temple." With a depressing feeling, Xiang Xianlin looked around vigilantly. "We must be careful. There may be danger here." Kong Xian nodded. "Let's split up so we can find that rare Pokemon more easily." The four were divided into two groups, Kong Xian and Xiang Xianlin, and Long Zhangyang and Xin, each going deep into the forest. Not long after Long Zhangyang and Xin left, they suddenly heard a strange sound, like some kind of Pokemon's growl. Xin said nervously, "What is that sound, Long?" Zhangyang frowned. "I don't know, but we should go and take a look." The two followed the sound to a small lake, where a black Pokemon was making that sound. Xin said in surprise, "That's the Shadow Lake Pokemon. I've seen its description in a book before, and it has the ability to control haze, Long." Zhangyang said nervously, "Then it is the Pokemon we are looking for." The two approached the Shadow Lake Pokemon carefully and tried to communicate with it. But the Shadow Lake Pokemon didn't seem friendly. It roared and then rushed towards them. Long Zhangyang quickly summoned his 2.2 Pokémon and started a fierce battle with the Shadow Lake Pokémon. After a fierce battle, the Shadow Lake Pokémon was finally subdued. Xin stepped forward and said softly, "We don't want to hurt you, we just want to know how to remove the effect of Blackguard." And the Shadow Lake Pokémon was silent for a moment, and then said, "Only using the Light Stone can remove haze." Chapter 193 Stone of Light. Long Zhangyang asked, "Where's the Stone of Light?" The Shadow Lake Pokémon pointed to the depths of the forest. "In that ancient temple." Kong Xian and Kong Xian also rushed over at this time and heard the words of Shadow Lake Pokémon. Kong Xian said, "Then let's go to that temple and find the Stone of Light." The four of them continued deep into the forest, and after some hard work, they finally found the ancient temple. The door of the temple is closed, with an ancient text engraved on it, "Only those with light in their hearts can enter." Long Zhangyang took a deep breath, stepped forward and gently opened the door. The interior of the temple is dimly lit, but in the center, there is a stone platform with a luminous gemstone, the Stone of Light, placed on it. Kong Xian stepped forward, gently picked up the Stone of Light, and then waved it at haze. Haze was immediately dispersed by the light, and all Pokémon and trainers in the Yanhuang region came to life. Long Zhangyang breathed a sigh of relief. It's finally lifted. Kong Xian smiled, "Thanks to you, but..." At this moment, a cold voice sounded in their ears, "Hand over the Stone of Light." The four people turned their heads in shock and saw a man in black robe standing at the entrance of the temple, with an evil light shining in his eyes. Kong Xian asked nervously, "Who are you?" The man in black robe sneered, "I am the leader of the Dark Association, Yi Ying. Although you have ruined my plan this time, I will not let you go easily." Kong Xian held the Stone of Light tightly. "We will not hand it over." Yi Ying laughed sarcastically, "Do you think the four of you can stop me?" After saying that, he summoned his Pokémon, a huge black dragon with a cold aura and eyes flashing red. Kong Xian shouted, "That's the legendary Shadow Dragon." Long Zhangyang said nervously, "We must join forces to fight it." The four people quickly summoned their own Pokémon and started a fierce battle with the Shadow Dragon. Every attack of the Shadow Dragon carries strong destructive power. Although the four Pokémon resisted bravely, they were gradually at a disadvantage. Xian's Pokémon was injured by the Shadow Dragon's blow. She hurriedly recalled the Pokémon, her eyes full of worry. Kong Xian held the Stone of Light tightly and said to Long Zhangyang, "We must use the power of the Stone of Light to defeat the Shadow Dragon." Long Zhangyang nodded, "But we don't know how to use it." Kong Xian took a deep breath, "I have a way, but I need your help." Kong Xian and Xian immediately said, "Just tell us, we will fully cooperate." Kong Xian explained, "We can inject the power of the Light Stone into our Pokémon so that they can get a powerful King of Power." Long Zhangyang nodded 360 heads, "Then let's try it." The four people placed a Light Stone in the center, and then began to chant a spell to inject the power of the Light Stone into their Pokémon. Soon, the four Pokémon began to emit a strong light, and their power increased significantly. When Yi Ying saw this scene, his face changed drastically. "This is impossible." Kong Xian sneered, "Now is the time for us to fight back." The four Pokémon once again had a fierce battle with the Shadow Dragon, but this time, they clearly had the upper hand. Although the Shadow Dragon is powerful, it seems somewhat powerless in the face of the power of the Stone of Light. Period. Chapter 194 Xiaoguang Deer. Xian's Pokémon, a Pokémon named Xiaoguang, rushed towards the Shadow Dragon and released a dazzling beam of light. The Shadow Dragon was hit by the beam and let out a painful howl. Kong Xian's Pokémon, a huge flaming wing eagle, swooped down from soaring in the sky and grabbed the Shadow Dragon with its sharp claws. Although the Shadow Dragon escaped the blow, deep scars were left on its body. Long Zhangyang's Pokémon, a Pokémon named Thunder Lion, attacks Shadow Dragon with its powerful Thunder Shock. Shadow Dragon was hit by Thunder Shock, and its body kept shaking. Kong Xian summoned his strongest Pokémon, Lucas Phoenix. Lucas Phoenix spreads its golden wings, releases a strong light, and rushes directly towards the Shadow Dragon. The Shadow Dragon was surrounded by light, let out a shrill howl, and then disappeared into the light. The four Pokémon returned to them victoriously, and the four held each other's hands tightly, with triumphant smiles on their faces. Ying looked at this scene in shock, then turned and ran away. Kong Xian said coldly, "This time, we won." Long Zhangyang nodded, "But we can't take it lightly. Although Yi Ying has escaped, he will come back." Xin looked at the Stone of Light in his hand, With this, we are not afraid of him, Kong Xian said. We should put the stone of light in a safe place so that you can't get it again. Kong Xian nodded. You are right, we should act immediately. The four decided to place the stone of light in a secret base in the Yanhuang region. There is a strong defense mechanism there and Ying cannot easily enter, but just as they were about to leave, suddenly, a huge crack appeared and soaring in the sky, and a cold laughter came from the crack. Ying's voice rang in their ears. Do you think you can defeat me like this? I have already obtained a power more powerful than the stone of light. The four of them looked up in shock and saw a huge black dragon flying out of the crack, its body exuding a strong evil aura. Kong Xian said nervously. That's, Ying sneered, this is the ultimate shadow dragon, and your end is coming. Facing this sudden threat, the four of them clenched their fists and prepared to fight again. Kong Xian said eagerly, we must use the power of the stone of light again. He Zin nodded, but we have used it once, and we don't know if we can use it again. Kong Xian took a deep breath. We have to give it a try. The four of them gathered around the stone of light again and began to chant the incantation. But this time, the light of the stone of light was not as strong as before, it only flickered slightly. Ying saw this scene and laughed sarcastically. It seems you have no choice. The ultimate shadow dragon let out a thundering roar, and then rushed towards the four people. Long Zhangyang summoned his thunder lion and launched a fierce battle with the ultimate shadow dragon. The attacks of both are very strong. Every collision will produce a huge energy wave. Hizin Xiaoguang Deer also joined the battle, releasing a strong beam of light in an attempt to subdue the ultimate shadow dragon. But the ultimate shadow dragon seemed not to be affected by the beam. It flicked its tail, and the Xiaoguang deer was knocked away. Kong Xianlin's flame-winged eagle swooped down from soaring in the sky and grabbed the ultimate shadow dragon with its sharp claws. But the ultimate shadow dragon easily dodged the blow, and then used its powerful black flames to attack the flame-winged eagle. Period. Chapter 195. At a disadvantage. Kong Xian was anxious when he saw that his teammates were all at a disadvantage. He decided to use his last resort. He summoned his Lucas Phoenix and said to it, we must go all out or we will all die. Lucas Phoenix nodded, and then merged with Kong Xian. Their bodies began to emit a strong light, and the entire temple was illuminated by this light. Ying looked at this scene in shock and said in disbelief, this is. After Kong Xian and Lucas Phoenix merged into one, their power was greatly enhanced. They rushed towards the ultimate shadow dragon and launched a final decisive battle with it. The attacks of both are very strong, and every collision will produce huge energy fluctuations. The entire temple was shaking, as if it would collapse at any time. After a fierce battle, Kong Xian and Lucas Phoenix finally defeated the ultimate shadow dragon. The ultimate shadow dragon let out a shrill howl and then disappeared into the area. Ying's expression changed drastically when he saw this scene. He knew he had lost, so he turned around and ran away. Kong Xian recalled Lucas Phoenix and then said to the others, we won. Long Zhangyang nodded, but this is only temporary, Ying will come back. Kong Xian took a deep breath, we will be ready to meet his challenge. He Zin gently stroked the Xiaoguang deer's forehead and felt its body tremble slightly. Xiaoguang Lu was seriously injured in the battle with the ultimate shadow dragon and needed time to recover. Kong Xianlin looked at the scars on the flame-winged eagle and said in a deep voice, we need to find a place for the Pokémon to rest and recover. Long Zhangyang nodded, I know a place, a secret base that I often went to when I was a child. There are enough resources and environment there to help the Pokémon recover. Kong Xian said, then we will go there. The four of them took the Pokémon to the secret base that Long Zhangyang mentioned. This is a small village hidden in a valley, surrounded by dense forests and filled with fresh air. The residents of the village were all retired trainers and the Pokémon. When they saw the four people, they all greeted them enthusiastically. A gray-haired old trainer came over and said to Long Zhangyang, Zhangyang, long time no see. Long Zhangyang smiled, old Li, thank you for taking us in. Lao Li shook his head, this is what it should be. You are fighting to protect this land, and we should support you. The four of them settled the Pokémon and rested for a while in the village. As night fell, Beth, Kong Xian and three others sat next to Courtney, recalling their previous battles. Hizin said, Ying is really powerful. If it weren't for help with the Stone of Light, we might have lost. Xiang Xianling sighed, but we can't always rely on the Stone of Light. We need to improve ourselves and the strength of Pokémon. Long Zhangyang nodded, you are right, we need more training. Kong Xian looked at Courtney and said thoughtfully, Yi Ying will not give up like this. He will definitely not come back suddenly. A child ran over and said to them, "Someone is coming, it seems to be Yi Ying." The 4 people stood up in shock and saw Yi Ying leading a group of men in black robes at the entrance of the village. Yi Ying sneered, "Do you think you can avoid me here?" Kong Xian clenched his fists. "Ying, what are you doing here?" Yi Ying smiled sarcastically, "I'll come to settle accounts with you." After saying that, he summoned his new Pokémon, a huge ice dragon, whose body exuded an icy aura and whose eyes shone with blue light. Kong Xian and the other 3 people immediately summoned the Pokémon and started a fierce battle with the ice dragon. Every attack of the ice dragon carries a strong icy aura. Although the 4 Pokémon resisted bravely, they were gradually at a disadvantage. Suddenly, a strong light shot down from soaring in the sky and directly hit the ice dragon. The ice dragon was hit by the light, let out a painful howl, and then disappeared into the air. Ying looked at this scene in shock, then turned and ran away. Period. Chapter 196 Lucas Phoenix. Kong Xian quickly recalled Lucas Phoenix, and then turned to the other 3 people. "We got unexpected assistance this time, but we can't always rely on it so much." Xin looked at soaring in the sky, where the light that had just shot still remained. "What power is that, Xiang?" Xianlin frowned. "I don't know, but he is obviously helping us." Long Zhang Yang looked in the direction of the village. "We should ask Lao Li. He has lived here for a long time and may know some things." The 4 walked into the village and found Lao Li's hut. Lao Li was feeding his Pokémon in front of the door. Seeing the 4 of them, Lao Li smiled and said, "You are back. It seems the battle is over." Kong Xian nodded. "Yes, but we have encountered some problems." He described what had just happened to Lao Li. Lao Li was silent for a moment. "That light. I have heard of it, but I have never seen it with my own eyes." Xin was curious. "What is that?" Lao Li sighed. "That is the arrow of the god, which is an ancient legend. It is said that when this land faces a huge threat, the god will put down this arrow to help those who are fighting to protect this land people." A flash of shock flashed in Long Zhang Yang's eyes. "Then we..." Lao Li nodded. "You have been chosen by the gods." Kong Xian took a deep breath. "Will Yi Ying come back again?" Lao Li pondered. "Yi Ying is a very ambitious person, and he will not give up easily. But you don't have to worry too much. With the help of the arrow of the gods, you will become stronger." Xiang Xianlin decided, "We should use this time to strengthen training and improve ourselves and the strength of Pokémon." Kong Xian nodded. "You are right, we cannot be defeated at night again." In the following days, the 4 began intensive training. They take their Pokémon to the valley for practical training every day. Xin Xiaoguang Deer gradually recovered its strength during training, and its beam attack became more intense. Xiang Xianlin's Flame-Winged Eagle has learned a new skill, Flame Whirlwind, which is a very powerful attack skill. Long Zhang Yang's Thunder Lion has also been greatly improved, and its Thunder Shock attack can defeat rival in an instant. And Kong Xian's Lucas Phoenix has become even more powerful. It can not only release a strong light attack, but also summon thunder and lightning to cause huge damage to the enemy. Asking for Flowers 00. After a period of training, the strength of the 4 people has been greatly improved. At this moment, Yi Ying appeared again. He led a group of men in black robes and rushed into the village. Yi Ying's eyes flashed with a cold light. "Kong Xian, do you still want to escape?" Kong Xian looked at him coldly. "We will not escape again." Yi Ying smiled sarcastically. "That's good. I'll let you know the price of challenging me." After saying that, he summoned his new Pokémon, a huge ice dragon. Kong Xian and the other 3 people immediately summoned the Pokémon and started a fierce battle with the ice dragon. This time the battle was more intense than the last time, and the Pokémon on both sides tried their best to defeat each other. But after a fierce battle, the 4 finally defeated the ice dragon. Yi Ying looked at this scene in shock, then turned and ran away. Kong Xian recalled Lucas Phoenix and won against us. Long Zhang Yang nodded, "But this is only temporary. Yi Ying will come back again." If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 197 Treatment Equipment. Kong Xian decided, "Let's go back to the Evergreen Pokemon Academy first, where there is the most advanced treatment equipment to help Pokemon recover as quickly as possible." Xin nodded. "Yes, Xiaoguang Lu is seriously injured and needs treatment as soon as possible." Xiang, Xianlin and Long Zhangyang also agreed, and the four quickly returned to the Evergreen Pokemon Academy with the injured Pokemon. The Evergreen Pokemon Academy is located in a dense forest, surrounded by tall ancient trees, and the air is filled with a faint fragrance of flowers. The buildings of the college are simple and elegant, and each building has hundreds of years of history. Kong Xian led everyone into the college, and students immediately came forward to greet him. "Dean, you are back." Kong Xian nodded. "Yes, we are back." He looked at the students. "Please help us arrange treatment. Our Pokemon is injured." The student immediately said, "Okay, Dean, please come with me." Kong Xian and 3 others followed the students to the college's treatment center. Here is the academy's most advanced treatment equipment, which can provide the best treatment for injured Pokemon. Heizin placed the Xiaoguang deer on the treatment table, and the treatment table immediately emitted a soft blue light, surrounding the Xiaoguang deer. The Xiaoguang deer's body began to recover slowly, its wounds gradually healed, and the color of its body became more vivid. Xiang Xianlin and Long Zhangyang also placed their Pokemon on the treatment table, and the blue light emitted by the treatment table also began to heal their Pokemon. Kong Xian looked at this scene and felt relieved. It seems that her Pokemon will recover soon. He Zin nodded. "Yes, thanks to the college's treatment equipment." Long Zhangyang looked at Thunder Lion. "This battle is really fierce. All our Pokemon are injured." Xiang Xianlin sighed. "Yes, Yi Ying is really powerful. We can't take it lightly." Kong Xian took a deep breath. "We need more training to improve ourselves and the strength of Pokemon." Heizin said, "I heard that the college has a special training base where actual combat training can be conducted." 11 Kong Xian nodded. "Yes, I have heard about it too. We can go there for training." Long Zhangyang said, "Then let's go there." Xiang Xianlin also agreed. "Okay, we will go tomorrow." Kong Xian looked at everyone. "Okay, then we will go to the special training base tomorrow for actual combat training." Everyone agreed, and then each returned to their room to prepare for rest. As night falls, the lights of the Evergreen Pokemon Academy are brightly lit, and the academy looks quiet and peaceful under the starry sky. Kong Xian was sitting in his study room, flipping through a book on Pokemon combat skills, preparing for tomorrow's special training. Suddenly, a breeze blew in outside his window, carrying a note. Kong Xian picked up the note and it read, "Ying will not let you go. Your efforts are in vain." Kong Xian frowned, his heart full of vigilance. He immediately summoned Heizin, Xiang Xianlin and Long Zhangyang. Heizin read the note with a solemn expression. "Yi Ying's 0.9 is threatening us." Xiang Xianlin sneered. "Does he think he can scare us like this?" Long Zhangyang pondered. "But we can't take it lightly. Ying is a cunning rival." Kong Xian nodded. "We will go to the special training base tomorrow, but we must also strengthen the academy's defense to prevent Ying's sucker punch." The next day, at dawn, Kong Xian and everyone arrived at the special training base. Chapter 198 Training Ground in the Valley. This is a training ground located in a valley, surrounded by mountains, with a huge stadium in the middle. Heizin summoned the Xiaoguang deer and began actual combat training. Xiaoguang Lu's beam attack has become sharper, and each attack can accurately hit the target. Xiang Xianlin's flame-winged eagle also showed great strength. Its flame whirlwind could swallow everything in an instant. Long Zhangyang's Thunder Lion uses thunder and lightning as its weapon, and every attack carries a strong thunder shock. Kong Xian looked at them with joy in his heart. He knew that as long as they worked hard, they would be able to improve themselves and the Pokemon's strength and meet Meteor Shadow's challenge. The training was in full swing. Suddenly, a dark cloud appeared in the sky, blocking the sun. Kong Xian looked up and saw a figure appearing in the dark clouds. It was Yi Ying. Ying sneered. "Kong Xian, do you really think you can defeat me like this?" Kong Xian clenched his fists. "Ying, what are you doing here?" Ying smiled sarcastically. "Let me see your training results." After saying that, he summoned his new Pokemon, a huge shadow wolf, its body exuding black light, its eyes flashed red. Kong Xian and the other 3 people immediately summoned their Pokemon and started a fierce battle with the shadow wolf. The shadow wolf's figure is like darkness, its eyes are flashing with red light, and every move brings a cold wind. It rushed towards the Xiaoguang deer first, and the Xiaoguang deer quickly dodged and launched a beam attack. But the shadow wolf nimbly avoided it. Xiang Xianlin shouted, "Flaming winged eagle, flame whirlwind." The flame-winged eagle immediately spread its wings and flew up, forming a rotating flame between the dual wing beat and rushing directly towards the shadow wolf. The Shadow Wolf was surrounded by flames, but quickly broke away from the flames unscathed. Long Zhangyang frowned. The strength of this Shadow Wolf is unusual. We must be careful. Kong Xian nodded. We have to work together to deal with it. The 4 Pokémon surrounded the Shadow Wolf and began to carry out coordinated attacks. Lucas Phoenix flies into the air and summons thunder and lightning, while Thunder Lion sends out a strong thunder shock from the ground. The Glowing Deer and Flame Winged Eagle attacked from both sides. Although Shadow Wolf is powerful, it seems a little difficult to face the coordinated attack of 4 Pokémon. It constantly dodges and also launches counterattacks. Ying looked at this scene with a proud smile on his face. Even if you join forces, you are not my rival. Kong Xian looked at him coldly. Ying, why do you keep challenging us? Ying sneered. Because I want to prove that I am the most powerful Pokémon trainer on this continent. Long Zhangyang said angrily. Your selfish ambition will only bring disaster to this continent. Ying said disdainfully. Disaster? This is just an excuse for the weak. The battle became more and more intense, and although the Shadow Wolf was powerful, it gradually became tired. But at this moment, Ying took out a black gem from his arms and threw it at Li Dezhao. Shadow Wolf. The gem was instantly swallowed by the Shadow Wolf, and the Shadow Wolf's body immediately emitted a strong black light, and its strength seemed to be greatly enhanced. Kong Xian was shocked. What kind of gem is this? Ying smiled proudly. This is the Shadow Heart I got from the ancient ruins, which can greatly enhance the strength of dark attribute Pokémon. Xianlin said anxiously. We must find a way, otherwise it really won't be its rival. Chapter 199. A Ray of Light. A glimmer of light flashed in Hezin's eyes. I have a way, but I need your help. Kong Xian nodded. Say 17. Hezin took a deep breath. We can try combo skills to combine the power of the 4 LR Pokémon into one and launch a powerful attack. Long Zhangyang nodded. Okay, let's try. The 4 people immediately began to mobilize the power of their Pokémon, and 4 different energies intertwined in the air, forming a huge ball of light. The ball of light contains the power of thunder, fire, beams and wind. Kong Xian shouted. Now, the 4 of them launched attacks at the same time, and the huge ball of light rushed directly towards 970 Shadow Wolf. Although the Shadow Wolf is powerful, it seems a little confused in the face of such an attack. It tried to dodge, but the speed of the light ball was too fast and hit it directly. There was a loud noise, and the entire training ground was surrounded by light. When the light dissipated, the Shadow Wolf fell to the ground, but did not suffer much damage. Ying showed a surprised expression. You. Kong Xian looked at him coldly. This is just the beginning. Ying gritted his teeth. This battle is not over yet. He summoned Beg other Pokémon again and prepared to continue fighting. Night Shadow's call echoed in the air, and 3 Pokémon flew out from the dark clouds, namely Frost Dragon, Storm Eagle and Blazing Firefox. These 3 Pokémon, like Shadow Wolf, exude a powerful aura. Xianlin said nervously. We must be careful. The combined attack of these 4 Pokémon is very powerful. Hezin nodded. We must try our best to avoid being beaten up by them. Kong Xian looked at Ying and said coldly. Ying, do you really think you can defeat us like this? Ying laughed sarcastically. You are just a bunch of kids. How could you be my rival? Long Zhangyang said angrily. We will let you know that children also have great power. The battle started again, and the 4 of them had a fierce duel with Ying's 4 Pokémon. The Xiaoguang Deer fought against the Storm Eagle. The Flame Wing Eagle faced off against a Blazing Firefox. The Thunder Lion had a fierce battle with the Frost Dragon, and Kong Xian faced off against Yi Shadow directly. The Frost Dragon let out an icy roar, spit up the breath of frost from its mouth, and tried to freeze the Thunder Lion. But the Thunder Lion quickly dodged and at the same time hit the Frost Dragon with a strong thunder shock. The Storm Eagle spreads its wings and flies, constantly sending out strong winds, trying to blow away the beam attack of the Xiaoguang Deer. But the Xiaoguang Deer moved flexibly, avoiding the strong wind, and at the same time emitted beams of light, accurately hitting the Storm Eagle. The Blazing Firefox and the Flame-Winged Eagle started a fire-on-fire duel. The Firefox's flames collided with the Flame-Winged Eagle's flame whirlwind, causing a huge explosion. The duel between Kong Xian and Yi Ying is even more intense. Yi Ying constantly summoned the power of darkness, trying to devour Kong Xian, but Kong Xian used his own Pokemon power to resist Yi Ying's attack. The battle lasted for a long time, and both sides looked tired. But at this moment, Yi Ying suddenly took out another gem from his arms. This time it was a blue gem. Kong Xian's eyes flashed with vigilance. What is that, Ying? Smiled evilly. This is the heart of the ocean, which can greatly enhance the strength of water-type Pokémon. After speaking, he threw the gem at the Frost Dragon. The Frost Dragon's body was immediately surrounded by blue light, and its strength seemed to have been greatly enhanced. Period. Chapter 200. Must be careful. Kong Xian said nervously, we must be careful. That Frost Dragon is very powerful now. He's nodded. We have to find a way as soon as possible, otherwise it really won't be its rival. Ying smiled proudly. You have no chance, he. Xin clenched her fists and took a deep breath. We can't give up. There must be a way. Xianlin looked at the Frost Dragon with a flash of thought in his eyes. We need to find the weakness of that gem. Kong Xian nodded. Yes, as long as we find the weakness of the gem, we have a chance to defeat the Frost Dragon. Long Zhangyang looked at Ying and said coldly, Ying, do you really think you can defeat us like this? Ying laughed sarcastically. You are just a bunch of kids. How could you be my rival? He. Xin clenched her fists. We will let you know that children also have great power. The battle started again, and the four of them had a fierce duel with Ying's four Pokémon. The Xiaoguang deer fought against a storm eagle. The flame wing eagle faced off against a blazing firefox. The thunder lion had a fierce battle with the frost dragon, and Kong Xian faced off against Yi Shadow directly. The frost dragon let out an icy roar, spit up the breath of frost from its mouth, and tried to freeze the thunder lion. But the thunder lion quickly dodged and at the same time hit the frost dragon with a strong thunder shock. The storm eagle spreads its wings and flies, constantly sending out strong winds, trying to blow away the beam attack of the Xiaoguang deer. But the Xiaoguang deer moved flexibly, avoiding the strong wind, and at the same time emitted beams of light, accurately hitting the storm eagle. The blazing firefox and the flame-winged eagle started a fire-on-fire duel. The firefox's flames collided with the flame-winged eagle's flame whirlwind, causing a huge explosion. The duel between Kong Xian and Yi Ying is even more intense. Ying constantly summoned the power of darkness, trying to devour Kong Xian, but Kong Xian used his own Pokémon power to resist Ying's attack. Xianlin's eyes suddenly lit up. I thought of a way. Kong Xian asked eagerly, what can I do, Xianlin said, we can try to use Thunder Lion's Thunder Shock attack to destroy the energy of the gem. Xin nodded. Good idea, let's try it. The four people immediately began to mobilize the power of their Pokémon. The Thunder Lion issued a strong thunder shock and rushed directly towards the Frost Dragon. Although the Frost Dragon is powerful, it seems a little confused in the face of such an attack. Please give me flowers. Thunder shock directly hit the Frost Dragon's chest, and the blue gem was immediately surrounded by thunder shock and began to make a harsh sound. Ying showed a surprised expression. What's going on? Kong Xian looked at him coldly. This is our strength, 0, but... At this moment, the blue gem suddenly exploded, producing huge energy fluctuations, and the entire training ground was surrounded by energy. When the energy dissipated, I saw that the Frost Dragon had fallen to the ground, but the other Pokémon also looked very tired. Ying looked at this scene in shock, then turned and ran away. Kong Xian clenched his fists. We can't let him escape. The four people immediately chased after him, but Ying was very fast and quickly disappeared into the distance. Long Zhangyang sighed. Although we won this time, Ying is still there, so we can't take it lightly. Kong Xian nodded. We must continue to work hard to improve our strength and meet the next challenge. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.